The content of lecture number 26, as you can see, is partial fraction decomposition of rational fractions when denominator consists of repeated linear factors. First, we did the partial fraction decomposition of those algebraic fractions in which denominator consisted of linear but non-repeated factors. This time, the factors in the denominator will be the linear ones but will also be repeated. That is, for example, if we have x minus 1 in the denominator, it won't be x minus 1 only, it will be x minus 1 whole square or x minus 1 whole cube or something like this. But before going further, we will just discuss sequence of algebraic fractions or sequence of a polynomial. First, we have constant and we know that the degree of a constant is 0. Then we come towards linear polynomial. After constant comes the linear polynomial having degree as 1. Then comes the quadratic polynomial having degree as 2, and then comes the cubic polynomial having degree as 3, and so on. Now, rules for writing an algebraic fractions in partial fraction decomposition. That is how we write an algebraic fractions in terms of the partial fractions for the different conditions, and the conditions have been discussed below. For partial fraction decomposition, we must have proper fractions. We know that we can decompose a fraction into its partial fractions only if the given fraction is the proper one. If it would be improper, then first we will reduce it into the sum of a polynomial and the proper fraction, and only then we will decompose the resultant proper fraction into its partial fractions. So if denominator of an algebraic fraction is linear, we write it as constant divided by linear polynomial. Since we know that in proper fraction the degree of the numerator must be less than that of the degree of denominator, so here if we have linear polynomial in the denominator, obviously in the numerator we must have an expression with the lower degree than that of the denominator, and we know that the lower degree polynomial of linear polynomial is the constant one. So if we have linear polynomial in the denominator, in the numerator we must have a constant. For example, 2 divided by x plus 1. In the denominator we have x plus 1, which is obviously a linear expression, but in the numerator we have 2, which is a constant. And in terms of partial fraction decomposition, since we do not have a proper number, we have to find out the value of the numerator. So we write a or b or c accordingly. But here, since in the example we have 2 divided by x plus 1, we have only one linear factor in the denominator, so it can be written as a divided by x plus 1. It is only a given example. If denominator of an algebraic fraction is quadratic one, then we write it as, since we know that the polynomial having lower degree than that of quadratic polynomial is obviously a linear one. So if the denominator consists of quadratic polynomial, obviously in the numerator we must have a linear polynomial. For example, x minus 1 by x square plus 2, and since we do not have unknown terms initially when we go for partial fraction decomposition, so we will write ax plus b and so on. If denominator consists of repeated linear factors mean linear factors whole power 2, 3, 4 up to so on, then we write it as a by linear polynomial to the power 1 and then plus b by linear polynomial to the power 2. For example, 1 divided by x minus 2 whole square will be written as a divided by x minus 2 to the power 1 plus b divided by x minus 2 to the power 2. Since we know that 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 whole square is equal to 3 by 2 square, here the LCM of the denominator is 2 square. But in the denominator of both the fractions we have 2 and 2 square, but since we consider the LCM of the denominator, so it will be combinedly considered as 2 square. So we may have the possibility of the denominator of a fraction to be power 1 and then power 2 as well. So exercise number 4.2, resolution of a fraction when d of x means denominator consists of repeated linear factors resolve into partial fractions. You can easily observe over here that it's x square minus 3x plus 1 divided by x minus 1 whole square. This x minus 1 whole square is the linear but repeated one. It is the linear since the power of x is not greater than 1, but it is the repeated one since it's x minus 1 whole square. So how are we going to decompose them into the partial fraction? For this, let x square minus 3x plus 1 divided by x minus 1 whole square, x minus 2 is equal to, first we will take x minus 1 power 1 in the denominator. So it will be a divided by x minus 1 to the power 1 plus b divided by x minus 1 to the power 2 plus c divided by x minus 2, since x minus 2 was just for once. It's equation number 1. Multiplying both sides by the LCM of the denominator, and the LCM of the denominator is x minus 1 whole square and x minus 2. We will get x square minus 3x plus 1 is equal to a into x minus 1, x minus 2 plus b into x minus 2 plus c into x minus 1 whole square. It's our equation number 2. In these sums, we also expand the given terms. So here first we will multiply x minus 1 and x minus 2, and then we will expand x minus 1 whole square by using the formula of a minus b whole square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. So it will be x square minus 3x plus 1 is equal to a into x square minus 3x plus 2 plus bx minus 2b plus c into x square minus 2x plus 1. This implies that x square minus 3x plus 1 multiplying a to the terms inside the bracket, we get ax square minus 3ax plus 2a. Then we will multiply b to the terms inside the bracket, b into x minus 2b plus cx square minus 2cx plus c. It's our equation number 3. Now first we will take the linear factors with power 1, since we can apply the zeros method over them. So let x minus 1 is equal to 0. This implies that x is equal to 1. Putting in equation number 1, we have 1 square minus 3 into 1 plus 1 is equal to a into 1 minus 1, 1 minus 2 plus b into 1 minus 2 plus c into 1 minus 1 whole square. Then we get minus 1 is equal to minus b. Minus on the left hand side will be cancelled out with the minus on the right hand side, and we will get b is equal to 1. Similarly, we will take the other linear factor, that is x minus 2, and we will apply the zeros method over it. Let x minus 2 is equal to 0. It will be equal to x is equal to 2. So we will be having 2 square minus 3 into 2 plus 1 is equal to a into 2 minus 1 and 2 minus 2 plus b into 2 minus 2 plus c into 2 minus 1 whole square, which will give us the value of c to be minus 1. Now initially we were having the 3 unknowns. By using the zeros method and putting the values in equation number 2, we just found the value of the 2 unknowns out of the 3. The one is left to be determined. So we could apply the zeros method only to the factors which were non-repeated, that is x minus 1 and x minus 2, and we found the 2 constants out of the 3 by using the zeros method. Now we cannot apply the zeros method on x minus 1 whole square, since it will once again give us x is equal to 1, and we will once again get the value of b, but we are going to find out the value of a, and we cannot apply zeros method anymore. So what we are going to do, we will have to just use this equation number 3, and we will just compare the coefficients of x square or x or constants according to the number of unknowns to be determined. Since we have only one unknown left to be determined, that is a, so we will just start with the highest variable, that is variable with the highest degree, and we will compare its coefficients, and the variable with the highest degree is x square. So we will compare the coefficients from equation number 3, and we will get 1 is equal to a plus c. Since here the coefficient of x square is 1 is equal to, here the coefficient of x square is a and the coefficient of x square is c, so it is 1 is equal to a plus c. So it's 1 is equal to a, since we have the value of c, that is -1. So putting -1 in place of c, we just get 1 plus 1 is equal to a, and a is equal to 2, and we get the value of a as 2. So putting the values of a, b and c in equation number 1, we just get x square minus 3x plus 1 divided by x minus 1 whole square. X minus 2 is equal to 2 divided by x minus 1 plus 1 divided by x minus 1 whole square plus minus 1 divided by x minus 2. Question number 4 is x4 plus 1 divided by x square into x minus 1. Here you can easily observe that the fraction given to us is not a proper fraction, it is an improper fraction, since the degree of the numerator is 4 and that of degree of the denominator is x cube. Since when x square and x will be multiplied, we will get x cube. So the degree of the numerator is x is 4 and that of denominator is 3. Since the given fraction is an improper fraction, so first we convert it in the proper fraction by using long division method as follow. We have x cube minus x square as a divisor, and x4 plus 1 is the dividend or the numerator. Since we have x cube outside and x4 inside, so we will multiply x cube to x to get x4. But once we multiply this x to x cube, we will also multiply it to the remaining terms of dx. So we will get x into x cube as x4, and then we will multiply this x to x square as well, and we will get x cube. While changing the signs, we just get x cube, and this x4 will be cancelled out with this x4. We will bring it down, and here we are having 1, so it will be x cube plus 1. Now we have x cube inside and x cube outside, still it is divisible, so x cube should be multiplied to plus 1 to get x cube. So we will write plus 1 in the quotient along with this x, and will multiply this plus 1 to the terms of the divisor. It will be 1 into x cube as x cube and 1 into x square. Since we do not have any appropriate term or any similar term of x square over here, so it will be written separately. This x cube will be cancelled out with this x cube after changing the signs, and we will get x square plus 1 in the remainder. Now we can easily observe over here that further division is not possible, so it is a remainder, it is the quotient, it is the numerator, and it is divisor. We have to write the resultant of this division as nx by dx is equal to qx plus rx by dx. Here in this form we will write the appropriate terms in their respective positions. nx is x4 plus 1. So in place of nx we will write x4 plus 1. In place of dx we will write x cube minus x square. In place of qx we will write x plus 1, and in place of rx we will write x square plus 1. So it will be x4 plus 1 divided by x square into x minus 1 is equal to x plus 1 plus x square plus 1 whole divided by x square into x minus 1. It's our equation number 1. Now it is the resultant proper fraction, since here the degree of the numerator is 2 and that of denominator is 3. So obviously it is the proper fraction, and we are going to decompose this proper fraction into its partial fractions. So let x square plus 1 divided by x square into x minus 1 is equal to a by x to the power 1. Since this x is repeated linear factor, so it will be considered as a by x to the power 1 plus b by x to the power 2 plus c by x minus 1. It's our equation number 1. Multiplying both sides by x square into x minus 1, we just get x square plus 1 is equal to ax into x minus 1 plus b into x minus 1 plus cx square. It's our equation number 2. Similarly, we will expand equation number 2 to get equation number 3, that is we are going to multiply this ax to the terms inside the bracket which is along with ax, and b will be multiplied to the terms inside the bracket which is along with b. So we will be having x square plus 1 is equal to ax square minus ax plus bx minus b plus cx square, and it is our equation number 3. Since we have x as the first factor in the denominator, so we will apply zero method over it to get x is equal to 0. Putting x is equal to 0 in equation number 2, we just get 0 plus 1 is equal to a into 0 minus 1 plus b into 0 minus 1 plus c into 0 to get b is equal to minus 1. So the value of b is minus 1. Now the second linear factor is, which is non-repeated, is x minus 1. So let x minus 1 is equal to 0. It will give us x is equal to 1. Putting 1 in place of x in equation number 2, we just get 1 plus 1 is equal to a into 1 minus 1 plus b into 1 minus 1 plus c into 1. It will give us c is equal to 2. Now since we have applied the zeros method over the two linear non-repeated factors, but still we have one unknown to be determined, and for this we will compare the coefficients of x square from equation number 3. We just get, in equation number 3 we have 1 with x square on the left hand side, so it will be 1 is equal to a plus c. So it is 1 is equal to a plus c. Since we have the value of c as 2, so we will replace it by 2 and will get a is equal to minus 1, since this 2 will be shifted towards the other side to get 1 minus 2, and it will be equal to minus 1. So putting the values of a, b and c in equation number 1, we just get x square plus 1 by x square into x minus 1 is equal to minus 1 by x plus minus 1 by x square plus 2 divided by x minus 1. Putting it in equation number 1, in place of x square plus 1 by x square into x minus 1, we will just put its partial fractions to be minus 1 by x minus 1 by x square plus 2 by x minus 1. So these are the required partial fractions of the given algebraic fraction. Now question number 6 is 1 divided by x minus 1 whole square into x plus 1. Here x minus 1 is the repeated linear factor, so it will be written as a divided by x minus 1 to the power 1 plus b divided by x minus 1 whole square plus c divided by x plus 1. It's our equation number 1. Again multiplying both sides by the LCM of the denominator, which is x minus 1 whole square into x plus 1, we just get 1 is equal to a divided by x minus 1 into x plus 1 plus b divided by x plus 1 plus multiplying both sides by the LCM of the denominator, we just get 1 is equal to a into x minus 1 x plus 1 plus b into x plus 1 plus c into x minus 1 whole square. We will multiply this x minus 1 and x plus 1, and we will get x square minus 1 plus b x plus b plus c into x square minus 2x plus 1 We will multiply a to the terms inside the bracket to get ax square minus a plus bx plus b plus cx square minus 2cx plus c. It's our equation number 3. X minus 1 is the first linear factor, so we will apply the zeros method over it to get, let x minus 1 is equal to 0. This implies that x is equal to 1. Putting 1 in place of x in equation number 2, we just get 1 is equal to a into 1 minus 1 into 1 plus 1 plus b into 1 plus 1 plus c into 1 minus 1 whole square. It will be 1 is equal to b into 2 and b will be equal to 1 by 2. Let x plus 1 is equal to 0. So this implies that x is equal to minus 1. Putting in equation number 2 in place of x, we just get the value of c to be 1 by 4. But the value of a is still to be determined, and for this we will again compare the coefficients of the x with highest power on both sides of equation number 3. Now you can easily observe over here that on the left hand side we do not have any coefficient of x square, that is, we do not have any term containing x square. So after comparing the coefficient of x square from this equation, we will be having 0, since on the left hand side we do not have any term containing x square, so we will consider it as 0. So 0 is equal to a plus c will be the equation by using which we would find out the value of a. So it is 0 is equal to a plus c. Since we have the value of c with us, that is 1 by 4, so we will put c is equal to 1 by 4 to get the value of a as minus 1 by 4. Now the last and the very important step is to put the values of a, b and c in equation number 1. We just get 1 divided by x minus 1 whole square into x plus 1 is equal to minus 1 by 4 by x minus 1 plus 1 by 2 by x minus 1 whole square plus 1 by 4 by x plus 1, and it will be 1 divided by x minus 1 whole square x plus 1 is equal to minus 1 by 4 into x minus 1 plus 1 by 2 into x minus 1 whole square plus 1 by 4 into x plus 1.